Most of the dragon types have got to shine in Regulation H. However, there is one that hasn't had much usage at all, and that is the Hisuian Goodra, especially. With a really strong stat distribution, I'm surprised it hasn't been used much, but we're going to be trying out on this team with Slowking and see how well it can perform. This is a Psyspam team that features Life Orb Slowking and Shell Armor Goodra. It was able to peak 41st on the Battle Stadium ladder season in Season 23. Let's break it down. So first we have the Psyspam combination, and it starts off with the Psychic Terrain setter, which is the female entity with that safety goggles, and Terra Fighting, which is an interesting typing, but it's a defensive typing against the dark type attacks, especially King Gambit, and can surprise a King Gambit, go for that Terra Blast option, which is a same type attack bonus when it is not terra'd, and then has that option to turn into a fighting type attack when terra'd, so you can actually threaten a lot of pressure into, again, King Gambit, Incineroar, and more. Follow Me, Helping Hand, and Trick Room, pretty standard supportive entity otherwise. That safety goggles to prevent these spores from the Amoonguss and other sleep powder shenanigans. Pretty strong option for a support Pokemon that's able to support with that Psychic Terrain, especially for this next Pokemon, which is the Life Orb Slowking. And this Life Orb Slowking is running Regenerator, which I think is a really cool idea. Normally we see like Entity Armourouge as the hard Trick Room Psyspam combination, but I think Slowking has a lot of potential, especially because Armourouge normally takes up the fire type role, then you usually pair it with Torkoal, and then you have like a lot of weaknesses that are stacked on top of each other, and it's also hard to set up maybe a late game Trick Room. But I think Slowking is a really cool adjustment. One, it really pairs well with Incineroar, which is a fire type you can run, and allows you to play a bit differently with this team because you do have that water typing, which is cool as a defensive type on Slowking. You don't have many water types in the format, but also with that Regenerator is really solid because you can actually switch out Slowking, get back some of your health with Slowking, and then Slowking will be healthier, and maybe you can be healthy enough to be able to withstand a way to set up Trick Room in the late game, because a lot of time you'll lead like Slowking Entity, you'll go for the Follow Me Trick Room, and then you'll be able to switch out Slowking, get some health back, maybe bring in Incineroar on a turn where you can get Fake Out pressure once Trick Room has ended, and then you could go for Fake Out and reset the Trick Room. So that's a really cool option. Pairs really well because Slowking has really good special defense and pretty decent physical defense, but then Intimidate just make it go even further with its bulk. That Life Orb allows it to actually be offensive with the Terra Psychic option for a really powerful nuke in that Expanding Force, and that Scald and Flamethrower for coverage. It will do a lot to opposing Incineroar and the steel types like the Golden Go and King Gambit. And of course Trick Room, because you do need a way to go for Follow Me Trick Room, because Entity can't always set up the Trick Room as it is sponging up the attacks. As I said before, next Pokemon is going to be that Incineroar with the Intimidator Assault Vest. I think it's just really cool having a way to have that special defense boost on the Incineroar with the Assault Vest, able to tank attacks, and allows Incineroar to just pair really well again with the Regenerate combo with the Slowking. Normally we see like Incineroar or Amoonguss. It's really good for Regenerator pivoting. And this Assault Vest Incineroar is just able to tank attacks with ease. The Terra Water going to be the defensive typing this time around. And interesting moveset, we have Flare Blitz knockoff Fake Out, which is pretty standard. Fake Out may be a bit strange on a Trick Room Psyspam team, but that Fake Out can come in handy when you don't bring the Entity, as well as a way to again set up Trick Room for the later parts of the game if necessary. But Drain Punch is an interesting move, but it's for King Gambit. You also get a bit of recovery with Incineroar. It also helps you beat the opposing Incineroars in a 1v1 scenario. So I think it's a really cool tech. It can definitely put in some usage, as well as hit like Pokemon like Ursaluna super effectively, which is also really cool. Next we have the offensive threats, which is the Ursaluna, and it has the Guts and Flame War, pretty common set that we commonly see, running the Terra Ghost as a defensive typing against the fighting type attacks. So it makes Sneasler, unless they don't have Throat Chop, you're just able to wall it. Facade, Headlong Rush, very good coverage. The third move with Shadow Claw is an interesting choice on the Ursaluna, but it makes sense not running Earthquake on this team because you don't have any Pokemon with Protect, and Shadow Claw can be actually very useful, especially into Sinistcha, which is a Pokemon that has been picking up in popularity recently, especially with how well it's done in the format. So you have a way to actually be able to hit Sinistcha, which is a Pokemon that would normally wall the Ursaluna, or at least not take 70% or more from like a ground type attack. So having a way to hit the opposing Sinistcha, way to opposing threat the psychic types under the Trick Room can be very useful. And of course, it still is able to hit Golden Go, Annihilate, and more. So a very solid choice, especially since you can get the same type of attack bonus with that Terra Ghost. Speaking of Sinistra, we have Sinistra up next with that Hospitality. Really cool for the ability that you can have with the Regenerate Slowking combination with the Hospitality on the Sinistra and that Assault Vest Incineroar. The way you're able to continually heal with the team and again set up another Trick Room. I think it's really interesting how this team was designed. The Citrus Bay for the recovery on the Sinistra and the Terra Water as your defensive option. We have the Shadow Ball Matcha Gotcha. So it's interesting that the Sinistra is running Shadow Ball. Normally they do drop it for maybe like Trick Room, but this one running Shadow Ball in order to hit the opposing like ghost types like Golden Go and Annihilate, which can be very useful because there are a lot of Pokemon that can resist grass, which is still a really good combination. Is why you're running Matcha Gotcha for that burn chance spread grass type move. It's still a really good move. Strength Sap for the recovery, which can allow Sinistra to stay on the field as well as act as a proxy Intimidate, which can allow Slowking to maybe switch out with that Regenerator and survive the hits afterward. So it can be really cool. And then Rage Powder for the redirection. Finally, as the last Pokemon, we have the Hisuian Goodra, which is a cool mon, a Steel Dragon type, which is really good defensive typing and has really fantastic stats, especially that special defense. But overall, a really strong pick with Shell Armor as the ability, which even though we're not in our Shifu format, it's still useful because Sap Sipper is the other ability you would really run on Goodra. And since this team has a lot of ways to play around Spore, you have the Flame Orb on the Ursaluna, you have your own Sinistra, you have the Safety Goggles on Indeedee, and you do have offensive threats with Incineroar Slowking. It does make sense that you might go with the Shell Armor instead, just to prevent the luck factor than just playing around a Moongus, which has been a bit shaky in usage. So having that Goodra with the leftovers, the Terra Dragon is interesting as the defensive typing, but it's to get rid of those steel type weaknesses like the ground coverage and the fighting coverage, especially from Sneasler. With the moveset, Thunderbolt, which is an interesting choice, but mainly to hit Pelipper because otherwise Wide Guard Pelipper can be a little bit hard for this team to really do damage into. And then Body Press, which pairs up with the Acid Armor to increase the defense and then dish out as much damage as possible. You can pair it well with the Sinistra with the Hospitality, and then Life Dew for even more recovery on this team, so this team is able to stick around, especially if your opponent's protecting to stall out Trick Room turns. Overall, I really do love how this team is designed. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Dondozo Tatsugiri, we have Golden Go, Murkrow, Dragapult, and Dragonite. This is such an offensive team. How do I want to approach this one? Slowking actually does some pretty good damage though. I do like Slowking. I like Incineroar. Sinistra's really good. Am I bringing Indeedee? I think I need to, because I think I need it for the damage for Expanding Force. Goodra's like okay, at the same time strange. I want Expanding Force in this game. Is it right? I definitely lead Incineroar because Incineroar is just a good lead in general. Because I get to find out if it's like Inner Focus Dragonite. Do I want to go with the Slowking Psyspam combination because Expanding Force is pretty good? Or am I bringing the Goodra? Goodra's weak to Earthquake though, and I don't really think Terra Goodra on a potential order up is good, especially against multiple dragons. So I think I bring Slowking, I think I bring Indeedee, and I think I bring Sinistra. I think this is the right move. I could see Ursaluna being brought, but I think against Dozo teams, I do kind of have to play a bit specific here. The Dragapult's going to be scary because I have no idea what the set is. And I also have to watch out for the... I do have to watch out for their offensive capabilities. Like, Dozo's the hard part, but also like a lot of offense that they have on the team. So I can't really get to turn wrong, because if I get to turn wrong, it's really bad. Let's see. I'm not leading Indeedee either because Ice Spinner Dragonite could be a thing. They lead Dondozo and Dragapult. Oh, great. This is fun. So I get Intimidate off into Dondozo, which is nice. The Clear Body on the Dragapult. Sure. Am I willing to be risky? I think I just go Indeedee turn 1 and I attempt a Trick Room. Don't be Terra Ghost Terra Blast, please. I think you're probably not. I think you're probably Terra Dragon. But if you are Terra Ghost Terra Blast, this is such a wipe here. I think the Dragapult could U-turn out into Tatsugiri, and then Dondozo can go for a follow-up, which is why I want to switch out into Indeedee, because one, I have the Psychic Terrain access, B, I'll be able to switch into Sinistra next turn. But I don't know if Dondozo really wants to have the Tatsugiri when it's intimidated. So we'll find out. Switching out Incineroar into the Indeedee. I could switch out Slowking into Indeedee, but if Dragon Darts comes out, I take too much damage at the start of the game, which is bad. I think I have to like take a risk. Okay, nice. It is just a U-turn like I expected. That did so much damage. Okay. I really hope I can take whatever follow-up is coming out. That's Tatsugiri? No, Murkrow. Okay, that should be fine. I should take Wave Crash. Yeah. All right, I will take that. I will take that pretty well. Nice. Are they trying to haze the boost away? Sinistra is okay, and Expanding Force isn't a bad option. I could Scald. I could go Incineroar. I think I get the Regenerate Health. Is always a play. I think I'm going to Terra Blast a Murkrow and get some damage onto it, and I think I'm going to switch out into Incineroar for an Intimidate. There's no way you go Tatsugiri here. There's like absolutely no way you go Tatsugiri here. I'm going to bring Incineroar, get Intimidate off. They might go for a Haze here, which would not be ideal because it gets rid of Dondozo's attack decreases, but we'll see. No, they retreat to Murkrow. What's coming in? Is that Tatsugiri? No, Dragapult. Interesting. Okay. Wave Crash into Indeedee, sure. There's no way you risk the Dragapult, I think, in the... I think... The thing is, I think this is a pretty safe follow me and a knockoff in the Dragapult. And the reason I'm going to go for this is if they go Tatsugiri, they're neutral attack. So I don't really care if they're neutral attack. I can play super defensive with Regenerator, Intimidate, and yeah. So they're actually staying with Dondozo, which is perfect. I am able to get a knockoff in the Dragapult, which is incredible. I'm offensive Incineroar, so this should easily knock out. Perfect. Get rid of that Dragapult is massive. And then Dondozo going to be at -2 Wave Crash. Not really going to do too much. Go for the Wave Crash. Into the Indeedee. Also, I didn't realize my plan, but I thought the Slowking would have taken the U-turn better. It was Life Orb. It was Choice Banded. I was in trouble. So, that is something I did not consider. Murkrow coming in. Trying to think about how I want to position this. I think just knock off the Dondozo and Terra Blast is okay. We're going to see the Dondozo retreat. If this is Tatsugiri, I got him. Because they're trying to reset the attack drops. But if I KO the Tatsugiri, they're in a lot of trouble. They protect Murkrow. Oh my goodness. I have gotten them. I've gotten them. I was like, okay, if Dondozo retreats, it's fine. If they go for a Haze, I get a knockoff and a Terra Blast at least. So I get some pretty good damage into the Dondozo. Goodbye, Tatsugiri. Goodbye, Tatsugiri. Oh my goodness. And now I should have this game sealed up. So Dondozo's going to come back in, but at this point, it's looking pretty rough for them. All right, I'm going to switch out. Let me think about the switch order real quick. 105, 82. So Incineroar switches out first. I think I'm going to switch out Indeedee into Sinistra, and I'm going to switch out the Incineroar into the Slowking, because that will be switching into Wave Crash. I get the Hospitality because Incineroar switches out into the Slowking first, and then I get my Sinistra in, go for Hospitality switch. As long as they don't foul play the Slowking, but I should be okay. But yeah, even if it doesn't, I can still play it out. But nice. They gave me 2 turns where I was able to get a lot of offensive momentum, and yeah. All right, we have Ursaluna Blood Moon with Grimmsnarl, Gyarados, Annihilate, Whimsicott, and the Archaludon. All right, if I'm not mistaken, this is a team that got rank 1 that we've used on the channel before. I can't remember all the sets other than Thunderwave Tongera, Thunderwave Screens, Grim. It's Life or Fast Blood Moon. Okay, I think this is probably pretty all right. Follow Me Trick Room seems really good, although we'll see how well it performs here. Just gotta make sure I beat the Grimmsnarl quickly, and if I can beat the Grimmsnarl quickly, it's nice. Okay. I think what I do is I'm bringing the Slowking. I just can't remember the Archaludon set. I think it's Snarl. Was it Snarl Body Press though? Oh wait, it has no Electroshot, right? I think that was the case. I'm gonna bring Slowking plus Indity, I think. No, I don't need Slowking Indity. I might just bring the Indity plus the Goodra. Yeah, I think that's fine. Incineroar in the back with Slowking seems pretty nice. All right. Let's see how this goes, because I don't think they're going to go with a Whimsicott mode. I'm pretty sure it's always Grimmsnarl against Psyspam, right? Like, if you bring Whimsicott, that means Annihilate's a lot less effective because I don't have to worry about, like, Rage Fist and the Scarf Beat Up, right? So I think that's pretty ideal. Let's see what they decide to go for. If they lead that combination, then perfectly works out. Ursaluna, Annihilate. Okay. So they're going to go for the final Gambit plan. Interesting. Okay. So do I want to lose Indity turn 1? I don't think it's a bad lose. I could also go into Incineroar. The problem is, are you going to close combat? I know your max attack on the D. I could lose a lot here if I'm not careful. I think I just follow me with the Indity. Oh, this is going to be so weird. Actually, where should I let Slowking? I think this is final Gambit. I'm switching to Incin. And I'm going to go for a Body Press immediately into the Ursaluna. Oh, well, that did not work out. Okay, and Annihilate switches out into Gyarados, which is fine for me, I suppose. The Terra Dragon's not bad for my Goodra because I am still able to resist most of the attacks that they could throw off. All right. Are they Blood Mooning the Incineroar slot? Get a Incineroar in for the Intimidate, which is nice. I don't know who they're targeting though with the Ursaluna. We do Terra our Goodra, which might have been a bit of a mistake, but we'll see. I was expecting Final Gambit and Earth Power there. Because they have Final Gambit, right? I'm pretty sure they do. And I'm pretty sure that it has enough HP to KO Indity. They go for Blood Moon and target down. Okay, the Incineroar. Nice, Incineroar is able to tank it. Beautiful. And we were able to get a Body Press off into the Ursaluna for some really good shit. Okay. We also have Thunderbolt, which makes this an interesting slot here. I like the idea of just Drain Punching the Ursaluna and going for a Thunderbolt into the Gyarados. Or do I Acid Armor immediately? I'm kind of curious if they Taunt or Waterfall first. I kind of like the idea of going for a Life Dew. Or an Acid Spray. The Ursaluna is faster. That's the problem. The Ursaluna is faster than everything on my team. I think I want to Acid Armor because I can see Blood Moon switching out into Annihilate. Yeah. Okay. So that works out. Ah, they taunted my Goodra. Could have got a Thunderbolt off. All right. Not as ideal, but still playable, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to retreat into Indity for the Incineroar slot on, I think this is probably Waterfall. I'm going to go Slowking on the other. This might allow me an opportunity to set up Trick Room, which is actually pretty good. Because you could Final Gambit, though. That's my concern. Are you going to Final Gambit with your Annihilate? I mean, that gets rid of the Ghost type, So Goodra might have an easier time, but it's still very, very risky for me. Bring out the Entity, bring out the Slowking. On what I'm thinking, this is close combat, or this might be Final Gambit into Slowking, but we'll see. No, they go for the close combat into the Incineroar. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Thunder Wave, sure. Okay. That's not terrible for me. They probably taunt, or they're going to go for Waterfall. I think my best play is just to Helping Hand, Expanding Force, and blow them up. Yeah. Get as much damage as I can, because Indy's going down, but that's fine. Yep, they go for the close combat into the Indy. I don't know if they think I have Oblivious or not, so they might Waterfall attempt, but if they go for a taunt, this is really good. I get Expanding Force, a lot of damage. And get rid of the ape, which is the important part. They did Waterfall. Okay, I could have attempted Trick Room, sure. Ah, that's bad. Okay, this isn't ideal, but it's still playable. We can go out into our Goodra. The close combat's not doing too much, thankfully. I'm setting up my Acid Armor now, I think. And I'm going to attempt a Trick Room with the Slowking. Because the Slowking is safe. The Slowking is safe. They might go for, like, what? Swap Annihilate? Yeah, that's fine. Into Ursaluna and Taunt? Yeah. It's fine by me. They do taunt the Goodra. Please get this Trick Room up. Please get this Trick Room up. Nice. Okay. Good position now. Good position now. Psychic Terrain ends, unfortunately, but I think this is still very winnable. So we're going to Body Press to Ursaluna, and we're going to go for Expanding Force into the... I think the Gyarados. I don't know if they hard switch and not Ursaluna immediately. They do. Okay, I could have Expanding Force that slot, but that's all right. Oh, Arcalon comes in. Okay, so I get a free Body Press off in Arcalon. That's not awful. Expanding Force into the Gyarados. Get some good damage. All right. As we get a Body Press off. It's a Stamina boost. Waterfall into the Goodra. Do they have Draco Meteor? I can't remember. I can't remember if this Draco Meteor or this has Electroshot. I could go Incineroar here. Actually, Incineroar is a pretty... Well, what do I want to do here? I think my play is just to Thunderbolt the Gyarados, because I don't think they're ever going to Terra. What am I doing with you? Do I want to Flamethrower to Arcalon just for damage? I probably do. Get the damage on Arcalon. Not bad. Because we could get a burn too. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. That's starting to help. We get a Thunderbolt off into Gyarados. Pick up the knockdown to Gyarados. What did Arcalon click? I think this position's pretty good, but I still gotta watch out. Oh! It clicks Snarl. Interesting. Okay. Interesting Snarl right there. I guess they want to weaken the Slowking because the Slowking has some offensive presence on the board, which actually works out really well for me. Okay. We shake off the Taunt too, which is really good for the Goodra. All right. Is this Annihilate coming in, or is this Ursaluna coming in? Interesting. How many turns of Trick Room are left? 2. I do have the access to get regenerate health. There's no way they let me KO the Ursaluna, right? I think my play is just to always Acid Armor with the Goodra and go into Incineroar. If I'm reading either Annihilate Switch for one of these slots, or I'm reading a Protect from the Ursaluna, it's always safe to Acid Armor. I don't think Flamethrower and the Body Press would have been enough into our Caledon, so I think this is worth it. I also want to get Incineroar in before the Annihilate because I don't want an endgame of close combat when I'm already pretty weakened. Please tell me this is our Caledon Terra and the Protect from Ursaluna. Okay, yeah, our Caledon Terra is okay. Terra Water's fine. Nice. Nice. Okay, perfect. Which is interesting because I did have a Thunderbolt earlier, so Acid Armor coming out. So we'll be set up against the... Ooh, finally we're getting some good RNG. Finally. Granted, the game's still nowhere near over. For all we've done, we have gotten a better spot, but I still have to clean this up now. Where I think the play is always the Body Press. Our Caledon? Is that plus 2? That's going to be close. I think I Flare Blitz to Ursaluna because it does do decent damage. We see the switch out from our Caledon into Annihilate, which is not what I anticipated. Okay, so Annihilate comes in. We failed a Body Press. Does Flare Blitz KO Ursaluna? It's a Frail Bear, if I'm not mistaken. And this is offensive Incineroar. Yeah. Okay, we KO Ursaluna. Perfect. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about my spot now. Oh, we'll see. The game is still not over. It's so funny. The game is still not over. But yeah. Trick Room returns to normal. This is the... Our Caledon coming in. I don't think Draco Meteor actually knocks out Goodra, but we'll find out. I am gonna... Do I just Thunderbolt? Or do I Body Press? I think I Body Press always. And we swap out Incineroar into the Slowking. The reason I'm going to switch into Slowking is because I'm worried about a final Gambit plus a Body Press or something into the Incineroar, pick up the knockout, and then it's Slowking versus our Caledon 1v1 and I lose to 1v1. Actually, no, I'd probably still win that 1v1, right? I think I do, but we'll see. I'll bring out the Slowking. It did final Gambit. Yeah, that's what I expected. Okay. Is this Body Press and Incineroar? I still think this is the right play then. If they Body Press. If they Snarled, I do probably lose, but it's okay. Or, no, I don't lose because I can fake out a Trick Room. If I get Para, it might be a different story, but yeah, they do Body Press. Okay, yeah, that was in line with my expectation. And now I think I win the game. With the Incineroar. Because I can fake out our Caledon, the fake out plus burn. Even if, let's say, we know there are Assault Vests on our Caledon, so I don't think they have a quick way of KOing the Slowking in time. Should be good. That was going to be forfeit. Okay. So we did have decently bad luck at the start because we did have a huge opportunity for a Helping Hand, Life Orb, Expanding Force, and Psychic Terrain to have claimed 2 knockouts, right? The Annihilate and the Gyarados potentially. Maybe Gyarados survives. I'm not too sure on the calc, but it would have done a ton of damage. I would have been in a really good spot, right? Unfortunately, with Thunder Wave and Waterfall Flinch chance, it wasn't that great. But then we were able to come back by not getting paralyzed the second time. Flamethrower burn helpful. I don't think it was like, oh, it's life-changing. The burn helps. It helped with the end game, but I don't think it was like, oh, this is the deal breaker. What really helped was the fact that I was able to just get the attacks off correctly, and that was the important part because getting those attacks off correctly were so huge. Pelipper, or Caledon, Garchomp, Amoonguss, King Gambit, and Mousehold. I don't know if this is support Mousehold or if this is going to be offensive. I could definitely see it being offensive on this team. All right, this is somewhat tricky because the King Gambit going to be a little bit difficult. We do have Goodra, which is actually a really good Pokemon. They don't have the best ways of damaging it other than Garchomp. So something I can consider here. I like Incineroar. Do I like Incineroar lead? Incineroar lead's okay. Incineroar Goodra is actually a pretty good lead. I don't know if I really want to go with Indeedee because Indeedee doesn't accomplish anything other than having, I guess, a powerful expanding force. Yeah, it's a bit rough. I could try to set up an Ursaluna game as well, but I think that's also difficult. I think Goodra is definitely one of the safest ways I could approach this matchup. I think I like the Goodra. I think I like the Incineroar. I think I like Sinistcha, and I think I'm going to bring the Slowking because of the Trick Room option is to switch into Weather Ball. We also have a Generator, which can be very impactful in this game. So let's try it out and see how well it performs. No terrain with the Indeedee. I don't think I need it. And Ursaluna, if I can position it well, sure. But the problem is there's the Amoonguss with the redirection. The Pelipper's an offensive threat. They have quite a bit of damage output with Archaludon. It just seems a bit difficult to set up. King Gambit, Archaludon leading. Okay. Versus my Incineroar and Goodra. Goodra's in a really good offensive position here, I'd say. A King Gambit can't really do too much, I'd say. So I should be able to go for an Iron or Acid Armor immediately. And I'm going to go for a Fake Out into the Archaludon, I think. I think that's the call. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Acid Armor and go for the Fake Out. I don't know what the King Gambit has that can really do that much damage, especially after I get that Body Press, because the Goodra should be faster than the King Gambit. We have Drain Punch on this Incineroar, so we can actually threaten the King Gambit. We also have that Body Press from the Goodra that can also put in a lot of work here. So I do not feel too bad about this spot. I am probably going to give the Archaludon a stamina boost, but that's all right, because again, a +1 versus a +2 is a big difference. And yeah, as soon as we get that Iron Defense set up, we don't want them to really get an Electroshock for free and switch into Pelipper. Looks like that's not going to be the case, though. We will get a Fake Out. Stamina is confirmed on our Archaludon. Good to confirm. We see the flinch here as the Acid Armor will come out from the Goodra, and that is +2. Very nice. Kowtow coming out, but shouldn't do too much. Yeah, like, doesn't really do that much damage at all. Perfect. Okay, nice. I want to go for Acid Armor again, I think, and I just want to go for a Drain Punch into the King Gambit. I feel like Pelipper should always come in, which is fine, because I could always go Sinistcha afterward. So I'm just going to go for a Drain Punch into the King Gambit, which I think should be switching out here. That's all right. Into Pelipper. Yep, King Gambit retreats. If Pelipper comes out, I mean, I break its Sash anyway, and I Thunderbolt on the Goodra, so I'm okay with this. Pelipper is going to come in. So is this going to be a Electroshot? Electroshot's going to be fired off. I have a Solvus Incineroar, and Goodra just naturally resisted, so I'm pretty all right with this turn regardless. So we're going to see Electroshot going to be fired off in Incineroar, which is actually pretty nice. So I don't take as much damage with the Goodra. Incineroar health shouldn't matter too much in this. And Drain Punch going to come out into Pelipper. Nice. All right, so we have a +4 Goodra on the offense here. And its Body Press should do a lot to Archaludon. Do I have to switch in Sinistcha now, I guess is the question. I feel like my best play... I really want to switch out the... Well, Incineroar is not helpful, but it's not really doing too much for me because the knockoff's not going to affect the Pelipper. I'm trying to think of like what the best possible option is. I think it's always just Body Press the Archaludon. The question is, what am I doing with Incineroar? Am I going to Sinistcha immediately? Because I don't think I need it, but you know what? Let's go out into Sinistcha. Because Pelipper's not doing any damage really to the Goodra with the high special defense that Goodra has, plus it resists both of the common attacking moves from the Pelipper. Get that extra health back. Even though I'm not getting the full 25%, I still think it's pretty all right. We're going to see a Weather Ball come out and target down the Incineroar. Nice. Okay, so we do resist that, which is beautiful. They go for a Draco Meteor +1. This is going to do a decent chunk. Yeah, that's why I kind of was thinking about switching the Sinistra in later, but a Body Press going to come out in our Caledon and able to absorb it pretty well, but that's some pretty good damage into our Caledon. Definitely will take it. Okay. I think now I want to go for a Thunderbolt into the Pelipper. Because Body Press is scary. I'm trying to figure out what this guaranteed out. I can Rage Powder. I'm a bit worried about health though, but I should be all right. I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to Rage Powder Thunderbolt. Because our Caledon is only -1 special attack, but I should be tanking a Body Press okay. We do see the attack into Sinistra. Maybe I should have went for the Terra Water. I guess Terra Water would have been okay, but I still think that this is pretty acceptable. As Body Press is going to come out from our Caledon, but I should be able to tank it with the boost. Yep, perfect. And a Thunderbolt going to come out into the Pelipper. So we are able to get rid of Pelipper. This is still a bit scary, but it's definitely manageable. Leftovers recovery. Gonna bring out the Incineroar, I think. Just gotta watch out because the Arcalon is still something I have to be concerned about. King Gambit gonna come out, all right. Gudra's faster than King Gambit, so I don't think I have to worry about it too much. Bring out the Incineroar. We are +4 defense against +1 King Gambit. I'm just going to go for a Life Dew here. Gonna Life Dew to get some HP recovery, and I think just fake out the Arcalon. I will give it a defense boost, but I think that's completely fine. As long as it's not Terra Ghost, I think we're in a really good spot to get some recovery back and then go on a nice offensive position afterward. I might go for the Terra Dragon with Goodra to get rid of the defense or get rid of the Body Press weakness. I'm just a bit worried if they go for Draco Meteor. They go for Protect. That is so nice for me, actually, because I am able to go for a fake out into the Caledon. Awesome. It's going to increase its defense again, but that's a-okay as we are able to get a Life Dew with the Goodra. And that is going to heal my Incineroar and the Goodra, plus get 3 turns of Leftovers recovery. Absolutely will take that. Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. I guess the question is, does +1 Sucker Punch into the Body Press KO me? I don't think so after I Terra, so I'm going to go for the Body Press. And I'm going to go for a Drain Punch into King Gambit, because if I get rid of King Gambit, Slowking's in a really nice setup position. So let's see. As long as they don't Draco Meteor here, I think I'm in an okay spot. If they Draco Meteor here, it gets very shaky. Granted, if I KO the King Gambit, I think it's still kind of alright, depending on the last Pokemon. It really just depends on the last Pokemon, but we'll see. I think Sucker Punch does come out, but we'll find out. I mean, I am threatening a Body Press, and I am threatening a Drain Punch here. Let's see what they decide to click. Alright, they stay in, which is ideal, because I would like to get the damage into King Gambit. We are going to see that Goodra Terra, and it looks like our Caledon did in Terra, which is beautiful. Go for the Terra Dragon to get rid of any of my weaknesses from the Steel typing, and that's going to be impactful for the Body Press. Oh, they went for the Terra. Is this Terra Dark? Yep, Terra Dark. Okay. So Terra Dark, Sucker Punch, and a Body Press. That's going to be close. They might Draco Meteor here, but I don't think you should. They do Sucker Punch. I went for the Life Dew here, but that's all right. Electro Shot. I guess it was to cover for a Terra? No way that KO's Goodra at neutral. I refuse to believe this KO's Goodra at neutral. Yeah, it did not. Nice. So we are able to get a Drain Punch off into King Gambit. It does less than I thought it would. Did way less than I thought it would. A Body Press going to KO the Arcalon, so that's super nice. All right. Oh, last Pokemon's so impactful on what this game is. Okay. We know that the King Gambit has Protect. What's your final Pokemon? Is it Garchomp? This is where it gets concerning. Because I don't know, the Garchomp can knock out the Goodra. I don't have the best answers to that, unfortunately. I also don't have the best answers to Garchomp in general. I think I'm going to attempt to get a Life Dew off, and I'm going to go for a Drain Punch into the King Gambit. But yeah, the Garchomp's super rough in the end game. Garchomp, King Gambit going to Protect. Is Earthquake going to KO Goodra this range? I have no clue. They do go for the Earthquake. We'll see. It did not knock out my Goodra. That's actually insane. Okay. As Drain Punch going to go into the King Gambit. And we are able to get a Life Dew. I'm kind of curious if the Garchomp actually even has Dragon Claw on this team, because I could see it not having Dragon Claw on this team. Able to get a bunch of recovery, which is beautiful. All right. Are you doubling into the Goodra? That's a good question. I have no idea who the King Gambit's targeting. I think I'm just going to Life Dew and I'm going to Drain Punch to cover for a Sucker Punch into Goodra, because that might be an attempt here. I think I knock off the Garchomp. Let's see. I would love to see them Sucker Punch and attempt the Goodra. Oh, they went for the Incineroar. Okay, that makes sense. Incineroar goes down. I should have went for Body Press, but that's acceptable, I suppose. Dragon Claw. Ooh, they do have Dragon Claw. Do they KO the Goodra? This game is kind of interesting here. All right, Life Dew healing the Goodra. Because they can't really break through the Goodra effectively. I think this is a mind game with my Slowking. Oh man, this is literally just between me going for Body Press and me going for Life Dew. Because I can Life Dew to avoid a... Because I don't know who they're doubling here. I feel like you might go for the Kowtow and the Slowking to prevent Trick Room. But you could also Sucker Punch Dragon Claw to Goodra, which is what I've been trying to play around. So it's lay a mind game here. Do I get the Body Press read right, or do I get the Life Dew read right? I think I'm going to go for the Body Press and Trick Room attempt. Let's see. If they Protect, I think this is still all right. It's not amazing, but it's playable. Oh, wait, they Earthquaked. I would not have Earthquaked there. That actually might work out for me. Okay. Because, yeah, they just don't do the crazy amounts of damage I think they needed. A Body Press is going to fail into the King Gambit. Oh, this is so close. Trick Room is up. I'm pretty sure I live Kowtow with Goodra. Pretty sure I live Kowtow with Goodra. The question is, what are they clicking in general? I think I'm just gonna Life Dew and go for a Scald. And I Scald the Garchomp. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Because this might be Kowtow. This could be a Protect coming out. There's so many options. There's an Ice Beam threat potential. They go for Sucker Punch into Slowking? Oh, they went for the Sucker Punch because they were worried I had Ice Beam. Okay. Man, if I keep Body Pressing to King Gambit, I won. Okay, I can still win, actually. Like, I can still win because they haven't been doing enough damage across the board. Like, as you can see, that Dragon Claw did nothing. The problem is the Rough Skin's building up. I think my hope is I got a Body Press to Garchomp, it KOs, and then King Gambit's got to mess up somehow. I don't get why they're Sucker Punching instead of Kowtowing, because we've seen the speed interaction before, but I should lose here. Body Press going to come out, knock out the Garchomp. We take Rough Skin. We do survive, but we're not surviving Kowtow. And they should always Kowtow because I have the Life Dew option. I am just going to go for a Life Dew attempt, though. They really should just go for Kowtow here. realistically. But I like the King Gambit was slower than my Goodra, so it's faster under Trick Room. Oh, I just had like so many attempts at body press, because if I body press the King Gambit, all I have to do is just body press the Garchomp over and over. Wait, what? My friend, we've seen the speed interaction several times, unless I'm the one who's messing up the speed interaction, but I'm pretty sure every time, I guess like you've been sucker punching spamming for most of it, but I'm pretty sure we saw the speed interaction. How many turns? Last turn Trick Room. I life do here anyway. Actually, no, it's just silly. Just go for body press. Because there's no way you protect here. They finally went for counter. Yeah. Well, I've known the speed interaction. I don't know what you've been doing, man. I was about to say. Body press gonna KO the King Gambit. On the bright side, I never had to worry about crit Goodra. I played this endgame pretty poorly, but you know what? They messed up more than me. And that's sometimes a game of Pokemon that's just like, okay, who is fighting to mess up more than the other? And that was definitely me and them. Tyranitar, Garchomp, Dusclops, Blood Moon, Ursaluna, the Rillaboom, and Incineroar. Definitely an interesting team. Okay. Man, I have 5 Pokemon I want to bring, and that's just no Ursaluna. I would like to bring the others. How do I want to approach this one? Incineroar is so good, right? They have multiple physical attackers, and knockoff against Dusclops is incredible. I think I have to bring it. Am I bringing Sinistra is the question, because Sinistра is probably the least useful. Yeah, I would say Sinistра is the least useful. It can be nice for hospitality, but I might not need it. I think I would probably want to go with Incineroar plus Slowking offensively. Or maybe Incineroar Goodra. It's either Incineroar Goodra or Incineroar Slowking. I think I'm going to go Goodra. I think Goodra's in a pretty safe position for the most part. Have Slowking and Inity back. I am a little bit weak to the Tyranitar because knockoff is a pretty threatening move. Getting rid of my items would not be great. I do have recovery on the Goodra with Life Dew, but that's something I'm going to have to keep a note of. But we'll see. A lot of this is just going to be able to get rid of Dusclops because Dusclops does have access to Haze and set up. We're going to see Dusclops and Blood Moon Ursaluna come in. Okay. Against Goodra and the Incineroar. First, going to find my Assault Vest and my leftovers. Okay, I'm going to knock off the Dusclops and... Trying to think about this game. Okay, I think my best play is actually just to go for a knockoff, go for it into the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and actually go into Slowking. I'm gonna do it. The reason I'm gonna make this play is because I am scared. Okay, so I think they're gonna just Earth Power turn 1 and Trick Room. Although they could protect Trick Room, which would not be ideal, but I don't think you risk that. Okay, we do see a Terra immediately, which is helpful. From the Ursaluna. Terra normal? Terra Ghost works out really well for me, so I'll take that. I'll take that. Wait. Please don't policy, because I was worried about the policy. Oh, it's Throat Spray. Okay. That's so much easier to handle. Okay. Nice. Okay, that is awesome. I was like, okay, I'm knocking off because I think this is Terra normal with like Brick Break Dusclops like we saw previously in the beginning of the format of Regulation E when Blood Moon Ursaluna came out. I thought it was Brick Break for the policy. That would have been scary, which is why I went for that combination, because I'm like, okay, if I knock off the Ursaluna, I get chip damage, maybe put in range of Expanding Force inside terrain, but also get rid of that weakness policy. It wasn't weakness policy, thank goodness. Okay. Gonna go for a knockoff into the Dusclops and Scald the Ursaluna because I am fast on this, or I am slow on this Slowking. We're gonna see Protect from the Ursaluna, which is fine. I don't know what Dusclops can really do. Nightshade for damage, sure. But I'm able to take that extremely well. We are going to go for the Scald attempt into the Ursaluna, and we do get a knockoff into the Dusclops. Beautiful. We get rid of that Violet, massive. And then since Incineroar is the fastest Pokemon in the field, I can switch into Entity and go for Expanding Force. If they decide to switch out, whatever switching out, does exactly appreciate Expanding Force. Like if it was a Rillaboom switch for the Ursaluna, it would have taken a lot of damage. If it was the Tyranitar, I'd be surprised because it's switching on a Scald. But let's see. Get the Psychic Surge up. And we are going to get a Helping Hand coming out from the Dusclops into the Ursaluna, but that is just nowhere near enough. Yeah, because Slowking is slower than Ursaluna. We get Expanding Force. Life Orb gets the KO on both of them. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful beginning to this game. We're up to 4-2. We've only taken damage on the Slowking. We have Regenerator, so we can actually get our HP back. This should be Tyranitar Rila? That's what I assume is in the back. No, Garchomp would be super ideal. No, that's Incineroar. And Rila. Okay. I think I just get my... I think Incineroar Goodra just wins. The combination of Incineroar Goodra literally wins. Yep. So we're going to switch out into our Incineroar on the Entity slot. And we're going to switch out our Goodra in on the Goodra slot. And Goodra should just be able to win this game with an Iron Defense because they use their Terra on the Ursaluna. It can't Terra the Incineroar to Ghost. And with Shell Armor and this Intimidates, that's going to be factoring into the Rila. High Horsepower should not do any damage. I'll actually keep the Grassy Terrain too because it stacks with my Goodra, which is pretty nice. And I think when they saw the Goodra come in, they're like... Yeah, no, I can't win. Grassy Glide. This is knockoff. They went for knockoff and instant too, which gives me an Assault Vest, which also hurts their cause. So beautiful, beautiful, absolutely immaculate game. I mean, I wasn't expecting the Throat Spray Terror Ghost turn 1, but you know what? I think my logic made sense because. Once I got the damage in Ursaluna, the Expanding Force was threatening so much damage. Having a Pokemon that was able to position well against the Ursaluna afterward, which was pretty important. And yes, it did work out really well. Sylveon, Incineroar, Primarina, Gallade, Talonflame, Meowscarada. This is a really unique team. I don't even know where I want to start with this. Okay. Sylveon's a huge threat. I don't have the best tools against it. Primarina's also pretty big. Yeah, they have some big threats. Ursaluna puts on a lot of good offensive pressure, but the problem is it's heavily threatened by Hyper Voice, by both Hyper Voices, I suppose, and Gallade. If you are competitive... No, only female Meowstic is competitive, right? Because male gets Prankster? Yeah. I think Incineroar is just a good lead. Incineroar plus Slowking isn't bad here. I mean, I think Sinistra plus Entity should work out pretty well. Ursaluna was the one thing I considered that could have been good in this matchup that I might have wanted to bring because it's good on the... like, against their really weak physical defenses. But once they get screens up, I think it's going to be pretty difficult. If it is the screens Meowstic. Or Meowstic like I think it is. We have a lot we have to consider here. Luckily, we have a lot of room to play around using Sinistra, Meowstic, and Gallade. Sure. Versus the Incineroar and Slowking. This better not be in prison stuff. Alright, this shouldn't be Covert Cloak, and I don't think it's Terra Ghost. I'm just going to fake out the Gallade. And you know what? I'm going to Scald the Gallade as well, because I would like some chip damage into the Gallade. Maybe get a burn. Like, we could fish for the burn, and that would be really nice here. So just get some damage. I don't need Trick Room up yet, so I might as well save my turns for when I do need it. I also have no idea if Trick Room is actually optimal. Alright, we get a fake out off into Gallade. Really good damage, actually. Reflect's going to come out. Beautiful. Because this is a Life Orb Skull. This is going to hurt the Gallade quite a bit. Oh my goodness. That did so much. And we got the burn. Okay, I might be able to change plans now. Beautiful. All right, that is a great start. I can afford to take damage because I have a Sinistra around. I'm just going to go for a knockoff into the Meowstic, and I'm going to Scald the Meowstic as well. Because Gallade and go for a Sacred Sword, it's not doing nearly as much as it was previously. And I can heal back with Sinistra later. That did so much. They crit, right? Oh, wow. That wasn't a crit? That's insane damage. All right. Light Clay. And a Scald into Meowstic. It survives, but that's actually pretty good for me. Because now I'm set up in a really nice position where I think I could get Trick Room set up and go out into Indity. Yeah, I'm just going to go Indity because I want the terrain up immediately, and I'll set up the Trick Room. Because now I think I could capitalize on Expanding Force doing a lot of damage. Bring out the Indity. Psychic Terrain will be set up. They go for Sacred Sword, that's fine. And we prevent Thunder Wave, which is very nice. Wasn't sure if it was Thunder Wave, but very good to block it. We do set up the Trick Room. And I'm going to go for Terra Blast and a Expanding Force because it covers a Wide Guard Last Ditch Effort. So I Terra Blast a Meowstic and I go for Expanding Force. All right, good start, good start. They go for Wide Guard, which is basically what I anticipated, but I do Terra Blast the Meowstic here. Also, I still can't believe that Gallade did that much with Sacred Sword when burned. That's crazy. That Sacred Sword might have KO'd 2 Incineroars. Terra Blast going to come out into the Meowstic, pick up the knockout. Beautiful. And Gallade goes down. So they're down 4-2, but they got screens. I do have healing, which is nice. Gallade goes down. Both sides still have Terra, which is something I'm going to have to keep in mind. Sylveon, yep. Is it Sylveon Primarina? Incineroar, interesting. Okay. It really depends on the Sylveon set, but I'm just going to follow me and I'm going to Scald the Incineroar because I do need damage in Incineroar with my back to our Sinistra and my own Incineroar. I'll need damage on the Incineroar for sure. We could maybe catch a Terra in the later parts of the game. So here comes a Scald with the Life Orb. And follow me to protect ourselves. Hyper Voice, Shin and KO. Yep. Knock off. Beautiful. All right. That's good. That's good. Gets rid of safety goggles, but acceptable. I think I go Incineroar first, and I actually think I want to go hard Sinistra. This is gonna be super close. There's no reason for me to Terra now. I think I go Sinistra here for the Hospitality on my Incineroar. I'm debating about Drain Punching, but there is a chance that they decide, hey, go for the Terra with Incineroar here. Because they don't need the Terra on Sylveon. But we'll see. I could lose to the endgame Incineroar plus Sylveon, which is actually scary because, again, Sylveon was a super big threat. We do see a Terra. If this is Incineroar, I'm pretty happy about this. I also want to see the speed interactions now. Perfect. Because they were worried about a Skull. Oh, it's Terra Grass. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Hyper Voice. Okay, so Sylveon's fast. Oh my goodness. That's too much, man. It is Fairy Feather. I'm not surprised. Knock off. That's really bad. Okay, I think I can see what I can do, but yeah, that's really, really bad. Oh, man. Also, their Incineroar is slower than mine. I guess I'm going to Flare Blitz their Incineroar, and I'm going to go out in a Slowking. This is so... hold on. How fast is my Sinistcha? My Sinistcha is actually fast. Okay, so I think I do always go Slowking here. The reason I go Slowking and I Flare Blitz their own Incineroar is because it's going to be Hyper Voice. We're going to take the damage. I KO their Incineroar Flare Blitz because I survived the Sylveon attack. Yep. Good. I get the Flare Blitz KO into the Incineroar. Incineroar goes down, and then... it's just, can I beat the Sylveon? So Incineroar goes down. I do lose my Incineroar, which is fine. Weirdness disappears from the terrain. This is so bad. All right. Sinistcha in, we get Hospitality on my Slowking. I just don't think I win. So I'm gonna go for... what's my best out? Is it to go for a Shadow? Do I heal back more? No, I don't heal back more with Strength Sap. No, I go for a Strength Sap into the Sylveon and... actually, no. Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going for Terra Psychic Expanding. I don't think I can win against the Sylveon. I don't think I can win against the Sylveon. I'm going for Strength Sap because the Strength Sap allows me to maybe survive this next Hyper Voice because they don't have Fairy Feather anymore. I don't know how much I'm actually even healing from this, but we'll see. I don't even know if I lived a Hyper Voice. Yeah, I don't. Okay. So I should have went for the Shadow Ball Spadef drop in the Expanding Force, but the problem is the screen turns. The screen turns were annoying for the Sylveon. The Sylveon was already a hard Pokemon for me to break through. Yeah. Unfortunately, Sylveon was just too good right here against me. Like, I probably needed Ursaluna now that I think about it. Right, Ursaluna over Sinistcha would have helped. I was a bit weak to Primarina though, but I think it was probably the best option. Because Sylveon under screens was just way too much. I didn't realize how little damage I was going to be able to get. Granted, I didn't think I was losing Pokemon as fast as I did. And I think the big mistake, I think this was definitely winnable with the Pokemon I brought. But the only thing was I should have not stayed in with the Incineroar. I think I needed all that HP, and that Sacred Sword I thought was like going to do half. So I thought like, oh, I'm super fine here because I'll take like half from Sacred Sword and then I'll be able to switch out and get Hospitality, and then I'll be in a fine position. I think that ended up screwing me over. I think I absolutely needed to keep the HP around. So if I conserved the Incineroar's HP, maybe switch down to Sinistcha or my Indeedee earlier, would have been able to play a lot smoother, because having Incineroar around against those two in the end game would have definitely been super ideal. Dragonite, Goldengo, Annihilate, Ursaluna, Rillaboom, Magmar. Alright. Pretty standard build. Magmar over Incineroar, I feel like, generally, but for the most part, pretty much what you would expect. What do I want to go here? Because Double Ghost means Goodra can't really do super hot in this matchup. I think I'd probably want to bring the Slowking. This is going to be super weird. Do I want the bear? The bear might be good here. Do I like Sinistcha? Not really. It doesn't do too much. Yeah, I don't think I bring it. I think I bring Slowking. I think I bring Indeedee. I think I bring Incineroar. And I think I bring bear. I think that's how it goes. Okay. I'm going to go with Indeedee plus Slowking first, Incineroar in the back, and Ursaluna. I think that's correct. Is Goodra against double Ghosts and Haze D-Knight? Not the greatest. Not the greatest. I do have to watch out. Their Blood Moon, Ursaluna, and Golden Go are big threats. Their Annihilape can definitely be a big threat depending on its set. Rillaboom, I'm going to have to respect the terrain turns, but I think depending on what they lead, I have a line. So let's see what they decide to go for. What are they going to lead here? You are going to lead the Ursaluna and Annihilape. This screams Final Gambit, and I mean screams Final Gambit. Oh, geez. Wait. I don't have a great counter here. Yeah, that's going to be tough. I don't think this is Life or... Actually, no. I don't think it'd be Life or Blood Moon or Ursaluna on this team. So you know what? We're going to follow me and we're going to attempt a Trick Room. Let's see if it's Final Gambit or not. Plus a Blood Moon. But I don't think Blood Moon KOs the Slowking at full HP without Life Orb and Terra Normal. And since they didn't, and usually these builds don't run it, they usually run like Leftovers, maybe Covert Cloak. I feel like Life Orb is not the case. We do lose Entity, which means we do lose on the Terrain War, which does stink, but definitely manageable. Blood Moon comes out in a Slowking. We should tank one Blood Moon, especially if it's not offensive, right? Yeah, like Slowking took that really well. It's not Life Orb as I expected. Okay, beautiful. Able to get the Trick Room up. So we did lose our Terrain, but I don't think that this is awful. I'm going to go into Ursaluna here as Rillaboom's probably coming in to threaten the Grassy Glide. Gonna be Agmar. Okay. Agmar's fine. Can I Headlong Rush Expanding here? Expanding is like really tempting here, and I mean really tempting. This might be just a protect angle, and it might be an expanding force angle for damage. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. My plan is to Terra Ghost to Ursaluna in general, because I think it has to be real in the back, right? Unless they didn't bring it for some reason, then it could be gold. There's a lot that could happen here. We see a Terra, which is so surprising to me. Oh, it could be a Solvest Ursaluna too. I also forgot to consider that. We are going to see the Terra on the Ursaluna. Terra Water, sure. That actually is probably pretty good for me. So we are able to protect the bear. Let's see how much damage we do with Expanding Force, because I want to see how much damage are we doing. I can't tell if that's the Solvest Bear. I actually can't. They go for Earth Power. I guess they just read to protect on the Ursaluna, which is fair. And Overheat. Okay. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Because I can go in instant. Actually, no, because Psychic Terrain is still up. I keep anticipating this is under the Grassy. Wait. This might be a bit weird. I mean, we always facade the Blood Moon. And I guess we're going to click Knockoff. Yeah, there's not really too much to think about. They are going to go follow me. I don't have Earthquake on the Ursaluna. They're probably going to Blood Moon the Ursaluna. Facade KOs the Magmar as anticipated. All right. I want to find out your item. What's your item? Oh, your Incineroar's faster than you? I did not expect that. They also went for Earth Power and Incineroar, which is super interesting here. So it is a Solvest Bear like I anticipated. Okay, wait, I think I win now. Unless like the back is completely different than Rila. But I think it is Rila. It's Golden Go? I just win now, don't I? I'm pretty sure I just get... Wow. Why did they not Blood Moon my Ursaluna? Well, to be fair, they also had to respect the Incineroar, because if they lost Ursaluna without getting the damage in Incineroar, they also lose to Assault Vest Incineroar regardless, but not what I anticipated. All right. I Facade the Bear, and I Flare Blitz the Golden Go. Yeah, because Flare Blitz offensive should KO easily. All right, goodbye Ursaluna. If this Golden Go lists Flare Blitz, I'd be super shocked, because this is offensive Incineroar. It actually has attack investment, like it's adamant. Okay. That's not what I anticipated, but I do have an out. They're going to protect the stall at the last turn of Trick Room. We Shadow Claw the Golden Go to cover for protect. Please get enough HP back, Incineroar. Please get enough HP back. I don't think that's enough. It's going to be super close. It's going to be super close. All right. We're headlong rushing, and I mean, well, we could Shadow Claw. And Terra Water, but that doesn't change anything. Please, Gale, please survive to make it rain. That +2. Oh, Assault Vest Incineroar so good. Drain Punch actually go crazy. Drain Punch went crazy there. I think they were like, okay, if I KO the Incineroar with the Ursaluna with Focus Sash Golden Go, I can Nasty Plot, stall out the Trick Room, and then make it rain KO the bear. So I understand their logic now. But luckily, I was Assault Vest Incineroar Drain Punch, which saved me. If I knocked off, it was so much easier, but I'm like, there's no way that Gold survives a Flare Blitz. Then it's like Focus Sash Gold, which is like an item we never see. And then they Nasty Plot, I'm like, oh no. But then I Self-Drain Punch, baby. Self-Drain Punch. All right, let's go over the games. In game 1, wasn't the best start, but was able to catch the Dragapult and the Tatsugiri Snipe, made it so that Dondozo without its commander did not win. In game 2, weird matchup, but getting fully paralyzed on the big helping hand expanding force did lose me a lot of momentum, but was able to get some good RNG to roll back the game into a victory. In game 3, I lost so many Protect Mind games in this where I probably should have just focused on the Kingambit more to allow Slowking a much easier time, but my opponent messed up with the Sucker Punch and allowed Goodra to get back enough health to live the Kowtow Cleave afterwards. In game 4, the Terror Ghost wasn't what I expected, but the first 3 turns went perfectly with removing the Ursaluna Blood Moon and the Dusclops lead and having 4 Pokemon against the remaining Incineroar and Rillaboom back. In game 5, I did not respect the burned Gallade's damage output and should have kept health on the Incineroar, which was needed to beat the Sylveon, which was a very difficult Pokemon to break through under the screens. In game 6, I don't think it was Life for Blood Moon Ursaluna on this team, and thankfully it wasn't, or I would have just lost on the spot with this lead. The Focus Sash Golden Go caught me really off guard, but luckily the Self Drain Punch came in super clutch to recover HP, so Incineroar could tank to make it rain and deliver the finishing blow. As I mentioned before, I'm a huge fan of how this team was constructed. The way that you can use Trick Room offense, but also like, it's not like, oh, it's really hard to set up a second Trick Room. It's you have ways to actually be able to heal and then be able to keep on offensive pressure at the same time, but you can also pivot around. You have some bulky defensive options, and you can potentially get second Trick Room up much easier with this team than you would a normal offensive team. So you being able to set up multiple Trick Rooms is actually probably pretty common with this team, and able to just set up that secondary trick room that your opponent, if they tried really hard to survive the first one, it might still be really difficult to survive the second one. I think it's a really cool idea. I thought Goodra was pretty strong. I thought the Life Orb Slowking, normally we're used to defensive Slowking, but I thought the Life Orb Slowking put in a lot of work. That Expanding Force is really nice with the Terra Psychic option, and then Regenerate is really cool, especially because you don't need Own Tempo or Oblivious to ignore Taunt, because you have the Entity with Follow Me anyway. So really strong combinations. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. Of course, if you'd like to try out the team, the rental code is on the screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time this video comes out. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.